Thanks for coming through, brother.
Thanks for having me, bro.
And before we kick this off, bro, I just want to say thanks for every single time you come back, always reaching out, making the time to do things like this. I appreciate it, lad.
Of course, bro. Of course.
Proper.
Of course.
We're in Sydney. You got your headline show tonight.
Yep.
Stadium show.
Yep.
How's it feel?
I'm probably the most nervous I've ever been for one of my own shows. But it's definitely being trumped by excitement, 100%, because I just got a lot of friends, family tonight. You know, the guest list is huge.
Yeah. Got Kenny on there?
Yeah, of course. Got 700 people. I gotta figure out. But yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, still hasn't processed.
Yeah, so 700 on the guest list. Stadium show.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm so proud of you, man.
We were just talking about Newtown Fest, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That one too, I remember, like, straight up for everyone watching, all the little cousins up there, this is the first fella that ever called me uncle. Like, when I first met this kid, he called me uncle. And I remember Newtown Fest, you were on the side stage there.
Yeah.
And I was on the main thing. And I bring you out on my little fucking stage
there.
Yeah. And lands down. So you've had plenty of practice for the stadium shows.
Exactly, yeah. Thanks to Nooky.
But yeah, like, how does it feel to kind of look back on your career and started off as, you know, a young fella here in Sydney to now doing things like this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's been a pretty crazy journey. Obviously, as you know, lots going on. I mean, I feel like I'm coming around like now to the point where I'm just starting to, you know, things are always so stressful. There's a billion different things that like people don't see that goes on behind the scenes. But I think like for a long time I was figuring out how to like deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like a tough thing to deal with, especially like while you're trying to like grow up with it. But I think right now I'm at a space where I feel just super grateful and super like ready to, be back and do the show and just like have fun. You know, I think now it's like more about just having lots of fun for me and trying to remove all the pressure that comes with it, because naturally there's just a lot of pressure. But I think just trying to just remain grateful and just like that, it's all supposed to be fun, you know?
Oh yeah, bro.
It's not supposed to be too serious.
Nah, yeah, lad. That's it. That's always the thing, like, you know, I'm not on your level, brother, but that's something I got to remind myself too, is like, this is supposed to be fun. And, you know, the way you've conducted yourself and hold yourself through this and risen to this level, brother, like, it's something to be very proud of.
Thanks, bro.
You're crushing it, lad.
Thanks,
Is
bro.
there, you know, I suppose on that, you know, way up, what's been some of the like biggest surprises or challenges that you've had to deal with, you know, on, you know, getting to this point?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that like there's no like handbook or like rules or like disclaimer for what you're like getting into before you do it, right? Before it happens. And like everyone's experience is so different. So like one person's experience isn't what the next person's experience is. So I think for me, it's just like learning how to take on, you know, all this extra added stuff, because I think for a long time, like, you know, as a kid, you're like, oh, you know, I want to do what I love for the rest of my life. Of course I want to be famous. Of course I want to like make a lot of money and stuff like that. And, you know, the things that comes with that behind the scenes is can just be tricky to navigate, especially at a young age when like, you know, I like, you know, you drop out of school to, you know, and you're making music and you're doing things, and now all of a sudden you have to handle like finances or think about like money, where money's being spent and who you're paying and like what that means. And like, that's like, you know, doing that while focusing on like trying to tour and make an album, and then also like take care of people and like make sure like people feeling left out. I feel like the job is like a lot about, like, at least for me, it's felt like a lot of like trying to help and like please other people, you know? So sometimes I think getting like you kind of can sometimes lose yourself a little bit if you don't ground yourself and put yourself first sometimes, which is what I found a little bit, is sometimes you just are so worried about like all the other moving parts of things that you sometimes forget, like, you know, how you feel, or like, you know, you don't have time to you kind of like give so much energy out to everyone else, whether it's like behind the scenes or to fans or like to whatever it is, you know, you're just constantly giving so much energy, you know? So I think that's what I would say. Yeah. It's just learning to put myself first and prioritize like my health and like prioritize, you know, getting my mental right and setting those, like limits, you know, of like what I can take, you know, and being aware of like what that is and, understanding that like nobody else around me can be good if I'm not. Right. Sometimes we think if we overextend ourselves, you know, we're helping people, but it only just digs the hole even further. So that's what I'd say.
No, for sure, man. You know, and like, brother, for me personally, you know, because we go back and we had a lot of, you know, like a lot of good times together, a lot of fun. But, you know, you're also around for some moments for me, like, was that, you know, the pressures that come with this industry, it takes a toll. And there was like, you know, moments where you was around and I was struggling with it, struggling with the mental health and, you know, the other things that come with this. And a little part of me always felt like maybe I didn't model the best behavior to you, you know what I mean? So like that was something I always felt a little bit bad, and because you were around, it made me want to stop, you know? So yeah, brother, so thanks for that.
I don't feel like that at all. I feel like you're a great role model. And that's the thing about being a role model, right? It's like what I kind of like I don't, I think like we're all human beings, right? And the idea of like being a role model to people is like you have to get everything right and you have to be this like person that everyone can look to be perfect almost. And I think that's just such an unattainable thing. And I think like the best thing you can do as role models is try your best, right? And I think like redefining what it means to be a role model, because it's just like it's not humanly possible to do everything perfect and to get everything right. You know, we all have things that we're processing and going through. So I think you did a great job.
Oh,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Thanks, brother. Well, yeah, another one I've got for you, bros. You're like, you know, when you think about your journey, you know, and the legacy that you're creating, what do you hope it, you know, passes on to the next group of artists, and particular blackfella artists?
Yeah, I think for me is just the biggest thing is being able to express vulnerability, right? Whether it's creatively or not creatively. I think just encouraging to talk about our feelings and how we're feeling, right? Because like I know that's like probably the hardest thing to do, but and you know, we think like we might come across like weird, or it's more, you know, it's not something that we should talk about with other people because you know, for whatever reason. I know, for example, that's like how, you know, my mom is. That's how, like, you know, about like, that's kind of how, you know, like the older, like, it's kind of like the old school kind of mentality of that. So I think for me, it's just like letting everyone know, like, it's okay to talk about feelings and we can all relate to it. You know, every single person on planet Earth, no matter who you are, where you're from, we all have the same human experience of these feelings. And I think talking about them just makes it easier for us to deal with it and makes us appreciate the good things more because, you know, we're not trapping all this stuff inside.
Oh, yeah, brother.
So I think that's the biggest thing, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid, lad. And we done the South by thing, when was that, a couple of weeks ago, brother? That's red hot, you flying left. That's
24
hours. You know, you spoke about Beebs there, you know, being someone who's helped you out and, you know, a mentor. Is there any First Nations people you looked up to coming up? Was it Greg Inglis or?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, 100%. I remember, like, I mean, Kenny's here with me now. Like, we go down to Redfern Oval and watch the boys train and stuff like that. I mean, that's, you know, that's huge one. I mean, you know, not say this because you're here, but you know.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Like you said, what we were talking about earlier, big role model for me. I think like the thing I really appreciate about you is that you just have a really good heart and always been there. Whether you know, don't talk for 6 months. I know you're always there, just supporting and always like whatever anybody needs. Like extends beyond me. Like even with Kenny and Chaz, you know, I all really appreciate the help and the work that you do, and even just having like, you know, some of the kids come down from now. I think that's like, for me, that's like one of the most admirable things and something that I look up to a lot. You know? So
solid, bros. Well, yeah, I know these guys.
And I promise I'm not just saying it because you.
Yeah, a lot of these fellas, they look up there. There's some mad rappers and singers up there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, talking about that, like this is, you know, we spoke about it briefly the other week, but the Laroi Foundation, what's doing with that?
Yeah, so basically the goal, you know, kind of like stuff we've been talking about is like just to be able to, you know, two things mainly is like focusing on, you know, mental health and, you know, all those things about expressing vulnerability and being open about our feelings and stuff like that, you know, kind of encouraging that and trying to create, you know, safe spaces for people to be able to go to because, you know, not everyone is able to have that at home, you know. So it's just about kind of trying to normalize those conversations and keep those programs going. And also on the other side of things is creating safe creative spaces for people too. You know, I think something that I'm very passionate about that we were talking about is coming up, especially for a lot of different artists, it's really hard to get in the studio. You know, it's hard to you know, pay money to use studios or find the right people to record and produce and all this stuff. And I think, you know, sometimes, a lot of times, artists can be pressured into signing crazy deals or signing, you know, stuff away to get these things and to get these opportunities without even knowing what they're really signing up for or signing into. And I think the ultimate goal here is to, you know, create like a facility and a safe space where people can come and create for free and express themselves for free and not have to worry about like, oh, at the end of this, you got to sign to me, you know, or like at the end of this, you got to, you know, it's just about having fun and taking the pressure of being successful or whatever away from music and just kind of putting it in its most pure form, music, art, whatever it is. And trying to kind of use some of the friendships and connections I built to kind of, you know, bring that back. And you know, there's a lot of, it's funny, like there's a lot of people, especially over in the States, like when I bring this up, like everyone's like so down. Like, you know, everyone's really down. There's a lot of really talented, dope people who, you know, trying to set up some good programs and workshops and really, just keep doing that sort of thing.
Oh man, well, where can people follow along with that journey?
You can go, we just launched the official Instagram page, the Laroi Foundation. So there's that. There's also the website.
Yeah. Seen the shirt too, bro.
Yeah.
Is that the one the kids done?
Yeah, that's the one the kids done. So we held a workshop in Melbourne. Brought a lot of different kids through, and they basically were able to design a T-shirt through. Like we had someone in there who works with like Brain Dead and stuff like that come in and kind of like do a workshop and with them, and they kind of they came up with this design that now we're selling on tour and stuff, and all that money is going to go back into, you know, making all these things come to life. So
sick. Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
I've seen it today, bro. I look mad.
Yeah, it's good.
You mentioned everyone in the States and that, like, how do you kind of stay connected when you're over there? Is there anything that reminds you of home, anything you like to do to connect back here?
Yeah, it is interesting, right? Because like it is so much different. It's like there's a lot of similarities and is different a lot too. The thing is I like work 24/7, to be honest. So like I'm just like working all the time every day. I mean, I think staying connected to home, just like staying in contact, you know, with home and staying in contact with people and you know, I'm trying to get out here a lot more now. I think, you know, I want to be out here a lot more every time that I can. I think that's like the most important thing for me. And, you know, the food here is so much better. So, so any excuse to come back and get some food.
What's the chicken joint they got over there? Everyone talks about the sauce.
Oh, Raising Cane's?
That's the one. Got nothing on
No. But it's crazy though. It's crazy. But yeah, I think just like, just kind of trying to spend time with like family at home as well too. But yeah.
Like you mentioned before about grounding yourself and all, is there any little rituals you do? Like, is there any like pre-show? What gets you pumped up to go out there and just shred it?
Well, I drink lots of tea.
Yeah.
Because to save my voice, I drink lots and lots of tea. What else do I do? We just started the other day, kind of doing a little circle vibe,
Yeah.
prayer
Sick.
vibe again. Kind of, we're doing that for a while. Then I don't know why we stopped, but now we're back. So kind of that vibe. We honestly we have the PlayStation backstage too.
Oh, no way, lad.
Yeah, we've been fucking with some Colab recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun. So just kind of trying to chill out and not trying to think too much. I think is the biggest thing for me. Because if I think about it too much, then I'll start getting in my head and be like, oh fuck, you know. So,
bros, if I had the PlayStation, like, I probably missed the show, eh?
No. Well, it was funny the other day. Me and Tony were playing on the PlayStation, we're playing UFC, and we're trying to go watch 1-4, and Tony's just like, again. We're like, fuck, we're gonna miss the set if we don't go.
Yeah, and COD's 1-2, bros. Like, I'll
smoke you.
Verse you, bros.
Yeah.
I'll verse you.
Let's go.
Done. Let's go. Nooks versus Laroi, Call of Duty.
Let's go.
But yeah, bro. Again, thanks for coming through.
Thank you, brother.
All the best tonight, lad.
Thank you, bro. Hopefully you can make it, man.
You got a spare verse for me or what?
Let's go.
Bring me up. Let's do it.
If that's what it's gonna take, man.
Yeah.
If that's what it's gonna take.
Yeah. All right then. Sick.